Hello and welcome to our presentation about our final project, the room booking system. Let's have a look at our team. It consists basically of 5 international students from different sections, from MIM, MIBA, and marketing. And some of us have coding experience, but more in Python and HTML. So it was really insightful to learn some coding in VBA and attend the classes. Let's move on to the agenda. We have basically, I won't go into detail here because we took over the structure you told us to. And yeah, let's talk about the solution or the problems we want to solve. We decided to improve the room booking system, as we thought that the current Esade room booking system is not efficient and not really user-friendly, because we tried to book a room and often it was not available and really hard to understand, and it lagged when we tried to book one room. And also during lunchtime, it was difficult to get the right time slot because they were not available. Like, we couldn't even choose them. So we came to our solution that we want to improve that. Our objective focused on the feasibility of the project. As we don't have that much of a VBA background, we wanted to have a really nice project in terms of making it work in the end. And so we decided to improve that. In terms of functionalities, we will explain later more about that. The room booking process is as follows. Like, we have a landing page, a user login, and then the room booking, where you actually can see the availability and the data visualization for the admin user. We can directly have a look at the Excel file. So basically, you open the file and you get this interface. When you click on login, these windows appear, and you can try it out with a random username, for example, only Alessandro, and some random password. And then it recognizes that the user doesn't exist because it's based on the Esade database. So we clear the form and we use the right one. Without the add, and my password is in my case 5 times number 2. Oh, I have still Alessandro. Now it should work. Now login successful. Now you get into the next stage. Basically, if you choose no building, obviously nothing appears. Let's have a look at the MBA building. This is also an improvement compared to the Esade room booking system, because currently, as you know, we can't book rooms from the MBA building, even though they would be available. So we add this as a function too. Here you can see we have 3 different types of room, starting from small ones in the bottom here, over medium ones on the side and on the top, and 2 big rooms. And starting from number 1 to 15. When you jump over to the BSc MSc building, check the availability. Here we have a great example of already booked rooms. We did this previously, and you can see it in gray, the rooms who are already booked. So if we would have tried to book this room again, or let's try it, book number 46. Next, are you sure to book this room? Yes. And this room is not available, obviously. In addition, when we try to set the range too long and we select an available room, we click on next, yes, and we cannot book because we set a limitation of 2 hours. In addition to that, if we set the end time previous to the start time, it doesn't make sense. So there is an error message as well. So let's do another one. For example, this one. We select room 42, check availability. It's available. Oh, hold on. We check. We changed the time, so this one is not available. So we changed it to room number 44. And are we sure we want to book this? Yeah. Now room number 44 is booked. And basically the user would then click exit and the file closes. In addition to that, we can generate some statistics by clicking on generate analysis, and the password here is capital Esade, like this, and we get an overview about how frequent the rooms are booked. User frequency, room frequency, date as well, and size. And when you click on close, it automatically generates a report. So this you can find later in the download folder. Here, as you see, it's already saved, the room analysis as a picture. Adding to that, let's dive into the code real quick. And hold on. So in terms of the code, as you see it here, we have different worksheets. Currently, you don't see them. I will tell you later more about it. We have two user forms, basically the login and the analysis user form, and different modules. Don't worry about those weird characters because it's some of our students coded in Chinese language, so because of that it doesn't recognize. And we have module 2, for example, is the availability checker, and here also should be the hide rooms. So when you switch from the MBA to the MSc building, as well as module number 5, here you can see the confirmation, which generates directly the record in the background. As I told you, right now all worksheets are hidden, and then when you go on options, advanced, you can see them, show sheets and tabs, and here you can see the different tabs. So from the login over the availability checker to the pivot table and additional data. This is basically what we did in terms of the project, and here you have some additional slides and screenshots, but we won't explain this one as we did it right now during the demo, and now Chi will tell you more about the challenge or problems we faced.
Yes, we have faced 3 problems during the project. The first one is the floor plan design. When we initially want to design the room shape for the room format, we try to reshape the cells to make it a room selection option. But finally, we find that shaping the cells means we have to redesign the length and width of all cells. So if we design the 50 cells like that on the right, it doesn't look coordinate. So we have a solution to do that is to create a shape rather than using cells to design the room icon. So you can see the outcome on the right was better aesthetic and user friendly. And the second problem is the floor plan hiding, and Ale did mention that. When the user to open the drop-down list of the building, he can select which building he wants book. So if he choose MBA building, it will unhide MBA building and hide SC building. To realize that function, we choose to and at the beginning we choose to hide the rows, but we found that we couldn't hide the whole floor plan, and we always miss some parts of the floor plan each time if we only hide the rows. And so finally we defined the floor plan constructed by the shapes as a group, and change the code in the VBA and to hide the whole group using the group's names. You can see the group name on the top right corner of the picture. You can see that. And the third problem is the data generation. We have a worksheet. We have created a worksheet to record the data when the user book a room successfully in the booking system. However, initially the administrator had to renew the data in the back end on the daily basis to ensure the user can book room in the range of a week from the present day. So the first 2,100 rows data should be the data of a week from the present day. So in order to realize that, we add a generate button to automate this process. So this generate macro is to renew the data automatically on a daily basis. So that's all for the problem. Now Pei will introduce the best practice.
Okay, thank you. So during the development of our application, we found 6 points. We summarize them, and that can make our practices and coding procedure better. And the first one is for the option. We found that the option button is a good choice to design the selection, and it can increases the user friendliness. And for the second point is about the image format. And we found that the BMP image format is a standard image in a Windows operating system, and it actually can be supported by various of Windows applications. So in our case, we use the BMP image format here because when I was trying the JPG format, I found that it's not clear enough. So in this case, BMP format could be a better solution, but the trade-off we have to keep in mind is that since BMP format is uncompressed, so it could take larger size and take more memory of the application file. So for the third point is the code modularity, because of the reusability and the stability of code running consideration, we found that it's better to keep the unit of code as small as possible so that we can call them whenever we need. And I think the core thing, the principle is just to keep our code as simple as possible and to be understandable and comprehensive, and it's easy to be run. So for the fourth point, it's about the function button, because we found that instead of generating a new worksheet every day, which is my idea in very beginning, but soon because the professor reminded us, and we found that create a button that can generate a fixed template, and then we can assign the corresponding date could be a better solution. And for the fifth point is that the login credentials database. And this is actually very important since a lot of applications do have a login procedure. So instead of hard coding the username and password, which means like we just put the designated username and password in the code, it's better to put the usernames and also passwords stored in a database. In this case, in our case, is a worksheet. And for the final one, last but not the least, is VBA built-in functions, because we found that using worksheet function and could save us substantial amount of time, and we can try to use built-in functions as much as possible to just release more memory and to improve the efficiency of the application running. That's all. Thank you. And for the sources, this is what we found during our development. And if you have any question, please just feel free to ask. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I just saw that we have some time left, so I would like to explain something else, which we basically have here. And if we go back here and we check the path of where the statistics should be stored. So when you go to the code, you basically have to change this path in order to actually access later the files or the analysis which we created. In case you don't, or the user don't change that, it won't work. So thank you very much and all the best.